Hey, this is Anthony Tour here. I want to thank you for joining the call tonight. Got a special message that I want to share with you that hopefully will be really powerful in your life, and that is that God can restore your life. And, if you're on this call, I'm sure at some time or another, many people right now are going through situations where, their lives have gotten off track, whether it be because of the economy or health, or marital stresses, family stresses, whatever it may be, God can restore that. And so, it doesn't matter what you believe. I'm going to share with you what the Word of God says, and you can apply that to your life. You can find encouragement from it. Here's the thing I find encouragement. When I read something that God has spoken in the Bible, quite frankly, is that if he did this for someone else, number one, he can do it. He's done it before. Number two, it's something that's not foreign to him. I know that might sound strange, but, before I knew anything about the Bible, I didn't even know that God talked about these things. I didn't know that these things were even in the Bible. I just thought it was some sort of religious book. But really, what I have found is that it's about everyday life. He speaks about things and to people that are going through real situations. And the amazing thing is that here we are thousands of years later, and the message really is still true. So, again, it doesn't matter what you believe. Just know that God can do it. That's a fact. Now, whether he'll do it for you, that's going to be between you and God. Let me just tell you, he did this for someone in the book of Joel, chapter 2. He said here that I will restore the years that the locusts have eaten. There was back in the agricultural days, and I'm sure if there's any farmers out there, I don't know anything about this, quite frankly, but, when a swarm of locusts hit your fields, and these are the fields that, produce the food that you, your family, and probably the community rely on for survival, it can be a very powerful blow when that happens. Also, I'm sure it was related to people's businesses. People traded back then. One guy grew corn, the other grew, flax, and they would trade and so on and so forth. And this is really a big part of their economy. So, you'll find a lot of things in the Bible refer to agricultural society, and but it can be anything that you've lost. The locust can be symbolic, really, for finances that have been eaten up by the economy, health that has been eaten up by stress, families that have been disconnected, whatever it may be. There's absolutely nothing too powerful for God to restore. And so it's an amazing promise that God can restore, but he says in Joel, I will restore the years that locusts have eaten. And here's the thing is, what God is saying there, what the Word is saying is that it's not just the field, the flax, or whatever it was that they were producing that was lost, but it was the time. Many of us have lost valuable time. We went into a direction we thought was going to be good for us. Maybe God had other plans, whatever it may be. I've also found that you could go in a direction that really is your path, but it doesn't produce what it is that you thought, and you've lost time, you've lost relationships. And so, the vision that you had may not have come to pass, but I want to encourage you that God can absolutely restore completely. You see that all over the Bible. It's amazing. It's one of the primary themes of the Bible, of his power to do that in your life. And so if you remember Job, J-O-B, he was a guy in the Bible that got absolutely devastated. Another thing, good story to go and read. I mean, if you're having a bad day, just go read Job, and you'll see that he lost family. He lost all of his wealth. He lost his health. I mean, he got to the point where, he was even considering, I'm sure, whether living was even, the best thing. So here's the thing, is if you look at the end of Job's life, what's amazing is you see restoration. Matter of fact, he went on to live, I think it was 120 years or whatever it was 100 plus years. But he received double everything that he lost during that difficult time, extraordinarily difficult time. And so I'm hoping that today this will be a message for you that will raise your faith. Maybe it's the thing that for the first time connects you with God or with the Bible or, with a power beyond yourself. I know that there was a point in my life where I had basically come to the end of myself, and that's a lot of times where you will find God. I've heard it said that when you're down to nothing, God's up to something. And so, unfortunately, we can accomplish a lot on our own. I mean, there's been great things accomplished by people. I'm sure you've accomplished some great things in your life. But, there's going to come a time where you may very well be in that time right now where you've just come to the end of yourself, so to speak. And so if you know God, just be encouraged that this word is just as true today as it was thousands of years ago. Nothing has changed. In Hebrews it says Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. It also says in Numbers that he is a man that he cannot lie. And it tells us that there's one thing that he holds even above his name, and this may blow you away because, a good name is rather to be chosen. So your name is as valuable as gold or silver, even above that. But he values something even above that, and that is his word. And so when he speaks something, he is already moving on your behalf. And sometimes there can be a delay, like if you remember in the book of Daniel, where he prayed, and I think it was 21 days later his prayers were answered, but it may be even longer than that. For me, I've been in situations where it's been 10 years for some prayers to be answered. But let me just tell you that his word is true for you today. He can do it, and in fact, if you trust him, in due time, he will do it. So I just want you to be encouraged. Stop back regularly to our channel. We're going to have some encouraging information for you. God bless. I'll talk to you soon.